In this video, I'm talking about the number one fasting mistake that most people are making. So intermittent fasting is incredibly beneficial for the body. What happens when you're intermittent fasting is you bring down your blood sugar and your insulin levels. We know insulin is a fat storage hormone, and most people, because we're consuming so much food throughout the day and oftentimes ultra-processed foods, that raises their insulin, doesn't allow their body to break down and burn fat effectively for fuel. And when insulin's elevated, it's also going to drive up inflammation in the body. So when we naturally have a longer period of time between meals, let's say 14, 16 hours overnight, we finish dinner by 6 p.m., we don't eat again until, let's say, 10 a.m. the next day, that gives our body time to bring insulin down. And now we start to burn fat for fuel, which also reduces inflammation, also gives us time to heal our gut lining. When we're constantly eating, we're putting a lot of stress on the gut lining, causing more mechanical stress, damaging the gut lining. We're also constantly feeding our primary feeders in our gut microbiome, which actually drowned out the secondary feeders, causing less diversity in our gut microbiome and a higher amount of endotoxins that can damage and drive up inflammation in the gut and drive up inflammation throughout the body. So amazing benefits to intermittent fasting. You guys have heard me talk about this for years. Now, number one mistake that I see people make is not drinking enough water and taking electrolytes. Most people are not hydrating their body well enough while they're fasting. We want things to move through our system like a river, not be stagnant like a pond. This is really important when it comes to helping move toxins out, but also on top of that, the water and the electrolytes will help reduce stress hormone. So when you're fasting, you're naturally going to elevate cortisol. And a lot of people think, oh, this is really bad. This is why fasting is not good, quote unquote, for your hormones, because you're elevating cortisol. Well, if you are hydrating well and consuming electrolytes, particularly salts, that naturally lowers cortisol. So it helps to lower the rise in cortisol, and it also gives you more wakefulness and energy throughout the day as you're fasting, during your fasting window, and will help move toxins out of your body. So the way that we move toxins out is through respiration, so breathing, perspiration through our sweat, and then urination and defecation. So we need to pee and poop them out, and keeping things moving through your body like a river will help move these toxins out of your system. And again, it also provides natural satiety, keeps your stress hormones down, keeps you energized. When you start to feel fatigue, right? Let's say you're going, you get started with your day, you're going and doing stuff, and then all of a sudden around midday, you just feel really tired, right? Oftentimes that means you're actually dehydrated. You don't have enough electrolytes. Oftentimes we forget to drink to hydrate our body, or we're hydrating with, coffee. We're drinking coffee, which is actually dehydrating us. And so we want to make sure we're drinking clean water, getting the electrolytes, getting the salts in. You can even just take a pinch of salt, put it on your tongue, and that's naturally going to help give you energy. And then of course, drink some water with it. And that will help drive water into the cells and allow for all the various functions of producing cellular energy to pick up. So that is the number one thing. Now, I'm going to give you two bonus mistakes. Number one is not being grateful, right? So a lot of times when people are fasting, they're thinking about food, right? They're thinking about, I wish I could eat this, breakfast, or I wish I could consume this. And they're not actually just spending time being grateful and thankful for the opportunity they have to, in a sense, space out meals, right? And to kind of experience time without getting a big dopamine hit. See, when we eat food, we elevate dopamine. Dopamine is our pleasure hormone. It makes us feel good, and that's a great thing. We love dopamine. But if we're constantly needing food or external stimulus to boost up dopamine in our brain, we become a slave to that thing. So if you need entertainment, for example, or you need to scroll on your phone, or you need sugar or some sort of food to boost dopamine, you actually become a slave to that thing. And so taking time and just being in a state of gratitude, thankfulness, that will actually naturally boost some of the dopamine that's helpful. And I think it's a good thing to be a slave to gratitude, thankfulness, to being happy, right? And so choosing to be happy, I think that's really important. And so having the right mindset, I think, is super key. That's the number two mistake I see people make, is poor mindset when it comes to fasting, right? Or taking time between meals. I think that's super key. And then number three is consuming bad foods before they fast. For a lot of people, they think, well, I'm not gonna consume food for a while, so I'm just gonna eat a whole bunch of sugar here. I'm gonna eat this big bowl of ice cream. I think that's a really bad thing because that's gonna elevate your insulin, cause more blood sugar imbalances. Instead, before you fast, you wanna consume high amounts of high quality protein, like 30 to 50 grams of good quality protein. You wanna consume healthy fats, things like extra virgin olive oil, grass-fed butter, pasture-raised eggs have healthy fat in them. All your grass-fed animal products, avocados. So consume something with some healthy fats and then get a lot of colorful fruits and vegetables. And so that way you're able to get the phytonutrients you need, the fiber, right? All that's gonna create satiety, blood sugar stability, and you're not gonna notice the cravings as much, if at all, during your intermittent fasting window. So that's what you wanna do. Make sure you're not making those mistakes, in particular, the hydration mistake. That is the biggest mistake that I see people make. So go ahead, put that in action, you're gonna see results.